Hey everybody, welcome to WeeaBoomers. I'm your host, Danime Japanime. We're extra lucky this episode because we not only have the council of 3 boomers and 1 zoomer, but we have an additional chancellor boomer. Let's run it down. We have Bob.
Hey guys.
From GigaBoots. We have KZ, the zoomer correspondent from kzexcellent.com.
I eat Tide Pods.
We have Mr. Feel from Mr. Feel's Wild Ride.
You haven't watched Death Note?
And our Grand Chancellor boomer, Dr. Aggro from GigaBoots.com.
Real anime ended when Kazuya Zabi took a rocket to the face.
Oh my god!
Glad to have you on the show.
Can I be a zoomer if I understood that?
Yes, but you could be a cultured zoomer.
Oh, okay, cool.
Class traitor.
I haven't seen RoboCop, if that helps.
Fuck you.
Who do you think that helps?
Someone somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, we're here to talk about the legendary, the absolute classic, Fooly Cooly, the anime from the mid to early aughts. Very excited. This Gainax joint is very, very influential. Only a 6-episode OVA. Do we know where it's available, if it's available? Yeah, I guess it's on Blu-ray.
Funimation.
And Funimation's website.
Funimation has it for like streaming and stuff. I watched it there.
Hulu also has it.
Okay. I've been informed that you should be watching. You should be
I
watching.
think you can watch it on Adult Swim's website.
Huh. That makes a lot of sense.
I would hope so. They're the biggest fans of this multi-series franchise.
Yes, and
the 10-year plan for Fooly Cooly.
As I understand it, no one else in this episode has seen, no other human beings have seen the additional Fooly Cooly series, progressive or alternative. Is that correct?
I haven't been paid to do so, so no.
I'm still aggressively pretending they're not a thing.
Yeah, I'm excited because they sound epic.
This is very fitting for this show. Man, normally when you describe a show or a series or anything really, you start with a genre. I don't know how to do that for Fooly Cooly. Dr. Aggro, how would you describe to someone who's never seen light before what light looks like? Okay, let's go a little bit easier.
It's a Gainax joint?
Yeah, right?
Progressive and never stops.
It has, for people familiar with Studio Trigger, it has a very Studio Trigger energy to it, I feel.
They just said draw something.
No, it's not that, because that's Dead Leaves.
I mean,
True.
because Trigger was founded by old Gainax employees, and Dead Leaves was IG, and IG did a lot of animation work for Gainax, including on this series, so there is a direct pedigree leading there, yeah.
I mean, a lot of the people who worked on this series are still at Trigger. Like, you could look credits and find a lot of people that worked on BNA that came out this year. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think there's still a good chunk of that feel. I'm always weird about this series being on WeeaBoomers just because it doesn't look like boomer anime but it's 20 years old.
But it literally, exactly.
It's literally
it came out
old
in
enough.
The year 2000.
Not only is it 20 years old, but every establishing shot in this entire series is probably on YouTube somewhere with lo-fi hip-hop over it.
Yes.
So I think that counts as being a boomer.
Right.
At this point, I consider everything before FMA 03 to be old anime.
I think you need to move that up a bit. But it's so strange of like watching this again. I'm like, you could release this now. The only thing that would make you lead you to it being old is it's 4x3
and the flip
phones. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah. This is a respectable Blu-ray version of this, I would like to know. It looks pretty good. It doesn't look as sharp as, like, say, a movie from back then converted, but it looks much better than other offerings. For example, I've heard Katikano, another Gainax joint, is very rough on Blu-ray. I have not checked that out myself yet, but that's what I've heard. I agree with that, Bob. I think you really could release this nowadays, and people would just mostly react with the same feeling they did back then of, man, guitars are really cool, aren't they?
Right? Like it wasn't modern stuff when it released even. Like those weren't new guitars.
Yeah.
The Vespa was already ancient.
I don't know how old a Vespa was by then. I've never kept up with that. This was my introduction to what the hell a Vespa was, but the moment a character rips a Gibson out of their chest and two different characters go, oh my god, it's a 1969 model EC Gibson or some shit.
Gibson EB0 1961 model.
It's an amazing moment. And this is a bold anime. It makes a lot of choices. And it doesn't give a shit if they make sense.
Is this anyone's first time watching this?
No, I saw this in like 2006 because Adult Swim was still airing it.
Yeah, I was going to say, this seems like the most prime anime for everyone's seen it because Adult Swim wouldn't stop.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Which is good.
Yeah.
And definitely a better thing they're doing there than when they started airing like Family Guy and stuff like that. But that's a whole rabbit hole I don't want to go down. There's probably a podcast out there about Adult Swim run by some asshole. Now then.
Shot in the dark.
Seem pretty confident.
Fooly Cooly has such an amazing soundtrack, and it's one of the things where I hope that maybe no matter what's happening on screen in the much later developed series, no matter what's happening on screen there, I can still appreciate a brand new Pillows album, right? Because the Pillows is an amazing band.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm scared that it'll be in there, but be in all the wrong places.
I'm scared that this is Pillows 20 years later. What if they got really bad?
I've listened to a good number of their albums. I believe the Fooly Cooly soundtrack is just like a best of almost.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
So it's like
I think it's mostly Happy Bivouac and Little Busters. And
yeah.
I think maybe some Runners High.
Yeah, that's correct. Those are the three major ones they pull from. Yeah, I assume they have some pretty interesting music for the new one, but who knows? None of us.
Luckily.
But yeah, no, the soundtrack for this is absolutely incredible, and it's really funny that it's all just one band because it fits really well, and the editing they do to make it to go in certain spots isn't especially jarring as someone who's incredibly well-versed. Like, I've been listening to the Pillows albums since this anime came out, and the editing they have to do to get it to cut to the scenes is really smooth.
It's not like those DBZ movies.
It's not like those DBZ movies where they're like, what if we loop these 3 seconds of Stupefy over and over?
Has a very Interstellar 4-5 energy.
Interstellar 999?
No, Interstellar 4-5. That's
no.
the Daft Punk anime movie. Do you not know about Interstellar 4-5?
I'm misremembering the name.
It's 5-5-5-5.
Okay, there we go.
4-5.
Yes, that's okay.
Oh, okay.
Why would you call it 4-5?
Because that's how you do it.
4 5s.
It's 55-55. Call 212-55-55. Get yourself some Daft Punk.
+1 +2 +1.
No, I'm just thinking about 3 by 3 eyes.
Now, weirdly enough, I have not actually seen Interstellar 5555. Has anyone else here?
No.
We may have to look into that.
No, we do have to look into that. Just so KZ knows, because it'll shoot him. Each 5 represents an S in the real title. Interstellar 4-5, the 5 Tory of the 5.
Don't worry,
5 R 5 Istum. 5.
I have seen that.
Oh, cool. I really like Daft Punk. It was really funny when someone was like, Tron Legacy is basically a Daft Punk music video. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And I listened to it. I'm like, this doesn't sound like any of their other music. That's bizarre. But that movie, of course, has like Discovery, I believe, is the album they use for that. Yes, it is. Good album. Sip. Now then. The animation work here is pretty good. Even in like the upscaled 1080p Blu-ray, it holds up pretty well. There are only a few scenes that are rough, I feel, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I think that this is one of those early animes that a lot of people saw where it introduced them to animation that really goes wild.
Yeah.
Like they are willing to do anything.
I mean, what about
Yeah, anything, all right.
I thought you were gonna say animation and then stop.
because I sure forgot about the South Park bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this I remember the show being used as a touchstone for a lot of really, really amazingly ignorant arguments about animation and animation quality.
Yeah.
Because it was a show that would go low and it would go weird and it would go wild, but then it would hit these beautiful Sakuga where it's like, no, we're fucking IG and Gainax and we know how to goddamn draw shit. We're doing the rest of it on purpose. Please understand this.
This is real bad animation when it becomes manga.
I don't know. They said it was pretty hard in that last episode.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, there's so much joy in the animation itself because the series itself, it doesn't have to hold itself to any standard. It can just do whatever it wants. So, oh god, this is the first time saying her name on the fucking podcast, so I'm gonna fuck it up like the voice actor for that one guy. Haruko. There we go. She flops. She sits on the ground in the Seize pose or whatever.
That's what I was going to bring up. Actually. It's so insane.
And then just starts flopping around like a fish, and then slowly turning and wheeling away and making jalopy sounds as she just slides around while talking. It's so fantastic and fun, and it doesn't remotely try to make sense. It's really, really great in that regard. This series, despite not holding itself to a logical standard, has a very strong emotional core throughout the entire thing and has really strong theming, I feel.
Yeah, it takes place in the allegory dimension.
Yes.
Where everything's an allegory. It's very similar to Revolutionary Girl
The Last Jedi.
Utena in that regard, except less coherent and serious.
Yeah, it's less dream logic and more music video logic.
Yes. There we go.
There's still some dream logic in it, because like where the fuck this thing takes place feels like a dream.
Yeah.
It's like a dream city. It's like, where the fuck am I? It's
On a podcast.
recognizable as a city, but I don't know where I am.
I was always kind of surprised this show never underwent the like horrific pile-on of symbolism debate that became the monstrosity that was Ava.
Well, it's funny because they even have a jab at the dad being an Ava fanatic or whatever,
They
right?
do, because my favorite part of it is he's not talking about anything really related to Ava. He's just spouting some bullshit.
Yes.
So the explanation for that is, oh yeah, he's an Ava guy.
It's Tamino-esque.
It's Kafka.
Is the dad supposed to be Anno?
I think he's just supposed to be self-important. I don't.
There's a very serious chance that he might be legally distinct from Anno.
I love that character so
Because he
much.
has the Eva thing, and he won't shut the fuck up about Gundam either, or about Lupin the Third.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
It is fantastic when Takun starts screaming at him for wrecking the place, and he's like, "Oh, you prefer the green jacket?"
I mean, that might just be a side effect of this being peak Gainax.
Yes.
Right. There's no telling where one ends and the other begins.
But he also kind of looks like Anno, except his beard isn't as thick. But there are definitely phases of Anno's life where he looked like that.
I feel like something really fun about this, something really enjoyable, I should say, is that it is the most, you know, when a video game just embraces every trope of video games and has fun with it on a narrative side, that is this for anime. Like, it is so distinctly couched in all of these tropes, but it's having fun with all of it, and its commentary is lightly touching on things. Like, I really enjoy that because it's not doing it because of a lack of creativity. It just doesn't give a fuck, right? Like, a giant robot rips out of the head of a child because wouldn't you like a robot fight to happen right about now?
Yes.
Exactly. Like, we wrote a nice emotional arc to this episode. We're delivering on relationship problems, interpersonal, intergender relationship problems. And let's have a robot fight. Let's just fucking do it.
Oh yeah, let's just have one of the best robot designs in history come out of this kid's head.
Yeah, the mech design in this is really good.
It might upgrade to the best when he's red.
It is really good.
I mean, then he pulls out a Gibson EV0 bass, and I'm like, fucking cherry red SG, let's do it.
God damn it, don't have opinions on guitars. I can't relate.
We're here to talk about anime.
This anime is why I have opinions on guitars.
No,
You're
that's
right.
what's upsetting.
That's insane.
Like every time I scroll through Twitter and somebody's arguing about what makes a great waifu, and like nobody's talking about an Azure Glow finished left-handed Rickenbacker 4001. I don't know what the fuck standards you guys even have anymore.
I'm stroking out.
We should just...
It's okay. We just need a new series where the girls become guitars.
Has that not happened yet?
I don't think it has, strangely enough. We have them being guns.
I mean, we haven't watched those other shows they made.
All the fingering jokes. I don't.
Oh, no. That's why it hasn't happened. Okay.
Yeah, there we
found
go.
it.
I feel like that might have happened though.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It didn't happen when anime was good. Sick.
Just like buried in the depth of some seasonal anime list, and nobody watched it like the Soda Girls anime.
I actually
The
thought a
what?
few episodes of that.
Excuse me, soda girls?
Yeah.
Like, these are girls who are enthusiastic about soda, right?
No.
No,
Then I don't want to learn anything more.
it's called Aki-Kan. It's about a group of anthropomorphic soda cans who fight.
What did I...
Yo, that's wrong.
What did I
I am
just
all
say?
the way down for this.
What the hell? No one listens to me.
I think it should be brought up again. Like, it seems to happen every WeeaBoots episode, or WeeaBoomers episode. Every fight in this was better than any fight in anything DBZ related we've watched.
God, could you...
God damn it, stop saying that.
I mean,
Look, they're not the same thing, Bob. You cannot apples to apples that shit.
Maybe we watched anything but bad DBZ movie fights, there would be something to talk about, but no. Those are all bad.
Hey, you watched Dead Zone. There were some sweet fights in that.
That's true.
Yeah,
that was a while ago now.
That was a while ago. Those,
That
those
was
were all
forever
right.
ago. All right, now how does this rank with Aqua Team?
They played in the same block on TV, so they're in the same exact location in my head.
Okay, that makes this easier.
Bleach is over there.
Not as much.
Nah.
Wow, just separated it off. That's pretty
I mean,
cold.
I watched Bleach fan subbed.
Oh, okay.
Right?
That-
Like,
that would do
when
it.
was Bleach on TV? Was that a thing?
Yeah, it was on Toonami.
That's when I watched this. Bleach was in the same block as Fooly Cooley in 2006.
Christ.
Good.
No, man, I watched FLCL and then Blue Gender came on.
Oh, man.
I don't remember what came on after it when I watched it. It was the first time it aired, so probably the same thing Aggro saw.
2003 is when it first aired.
For me, I watched Fooly Cooley on DVDs back in the day, around the time I saw Kare Kano. So them having the same ending credit sequence,
That's insane.
I was like, yeah, we got to watch the ending in the second half of the OVA. They changed it, and then it was identical. And I go, Bob, I was thinking of Kare Kano's credit sequence because it is so similar. And it changes halfway through that series. For people who don't know, Kare Kano, His and Her Circumstances, is a Gainax anime. And the mangaka was very pissed. That's all you need to know, I feel.
It's a trip.
I love on the Blu-rays watching the ending sequence, the credit sequence, that you can sure as shit tell which parts were still photos in high resolution and which parts are just frames of video they cut out and animated like still frame animation, because it'll go from stunningly high res, look at all this detail on the Vespa, to everything that's remotely dark as pure black. You can't see shit.
No.
This was filmed on a Game Boy
You have to
camera.
take Blu-rays away from you.
I wonder if the new series does an outro like that and they have a good quality camera. I really doubt it.
Oh man,
They have a GoPro.
I'm worried about
Watch
that.
it be the exact same one.
I'm worried
I
about
think I've heard all I want to about the new series existing.
Yeah,
Yeah, we need to not think about
I
that.
constantly like just
It's looming over you like the moon.
no.
Majora's Mask.
It's
Look,
daunting.
Look, I'm old enough. I don't need some new, younger, hipper FLCL to put me in a fucking coffin.
This is the future you deserve.
I don't need it to be about TikTok or whatever the fuck.
I'm really glad that it basically vanished after they released it. Like, no one cared.
But that makes it all the more curious to me because people stopped talking about it immediately and then it poof, gone.
And they announced it like 3 years in advance.
Yes, I will always remember because one of the big guys at Adult Swim on Twitter was like, check this out, guys. We're giving you the good shit. FLCL seasons 2 and 3. And then people reacted as they would obviously react. And he spent the rest of the day name searching, being very mad.
Yup.
Yeah, that's...
Man, I'm trying to imagine a level of doing stuff where it makes any rational sense to me to name search my name.
There's so many...
Damn video games.
Or GigaBoots, either one. I don't know.
Oh,
It kills me so
okay.
much because it's like so many other things they had back in the day would have made more sense to get licensed to make a new one of.
Yeah, like Inuyasha.
Even at Gainax, they could have just paid to have a second season of Panty and Stocking made.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
could have just done that. They
And
could
that would have been fine, and that would have made a lot of
They'd
people
have been hailed
happy.
as heroes.
Yeah,
Shit, man.
yeah.
Let's just do Big O3. I mean, if
That's
we're
what
going to throw
that's
money
the
at
next
it.
thing I
No,
was going to say. They
that-
could have paid to have Big O3.
That would have made way more sense, and I would have been very appreciative because, man, Big O did not. That didn't go like it
The
should have.
difference is the guy over there wanted
Let's
that.
expand on that IGPX OVA. No, the OVA, the one people liked, not the dumb racing thing Anime Insider pushed for 2 years.
There was something
what?
other than that dumb
The what-
racing
what?
thing? What?
The original IGPX was this OVA about like junkyard robot fighting. It was great.
Whoa.
What?
Oh, I only know about the one that actually became a series.
Say-
Like,
Wow.
it was raw.
Thank you, Grand Chancellor Boomer. Coming in here with the deep
Oh
cuts.
God, there was. The series has like none of the same staff. Why did they do this?
Speaking of Boomer deep cuts, that moment where Haruko becomes becomes the Daikon mascot,
Yes.
flying on the guitar,
God,
gave
that
me a
took-
stroke
it
this
took-
time around.
It took me 10 years to get that joke. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Just one year I went back to rewatch it and I'm like, why does she scream Daikon? Oh my god.
Because I ran across the Daikon animation stuff randomly. Not thinking about that at all. Be like, this reminds me of something. Oh no, what? And she even says Daikon 4, whereas they've only done 3 before. It's insane.
Yeah. I'm trying to bring up a reference image for KZ and Feel.
Are you telling me neither of them have seen Otaku no Video?
No, I don't
No.
know what the fuck Daikon is. That's
Daikon
before
isn't
my
an
time.
Otaku no video.
I saw a video of someone talking about it.
Okay,
So
so
I have a vague idea of the Daikon.
so for those who don't know, here's the Daikon mascot character in that
Yeah.
animation,
Oh, okay.
and how Haruko just becomes that for the ending.
Yeah, Daikon was like a big anime convention that they made intro videos for the early guys at Gainax, like Ano and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she just yells the name of the con and puts on that outfit for one awesome fighting sequence. It's-
Yeah, Bob, she's totally in Otaku no Video.
Is she? I don't. I saw it that like last year. I didn't
for
see
a
it.
little bit. There's like a legally distinct version of her for most of it, and then they like sneak her in one scene.
Oh my god!
of course.
Of course, I missed that.
Are we gonna have to watch Otaku no Video?
It's very
Oh,
boomer.
did you know that
Far
Gainax
off.
apparently announced Daikon 33 and then nothing ever happened?
Sweet.
Oof.
I'm sure that's part of when they were crumbled image of the company they were.
Oh, you mean when they greenlit Fully Coolly Alternative and Progressive? That exact moment?
This was about. This would have been about the same time, 2014.
Yeah.
Okay, so was this so this was before they became Scala Ed Gainax, where there's 85 different companies.
I think we're past even that now. I think they got.
Now they're killed. Now they're
obliterate.
they're finally dead.
Thank God.
Imagine being the House of Ava and then getting bullied by William Street.
Man,
Yes, actually, that's kind of insane.
I was reading some stuff about Nadia, and we were talking about just off content someday about how a lot of that was stolen for that Disney movie Atlantis.
Yeah.
Apparently,
God damn it.
people who worked on Nadia wanted to sue over that, but NHK wasn't willing to do it. Like the national
Yeah.
broadcaster of Japan was not willing to go to court with Disney.
No, they were not going to step to the mouse. Absolutely not.
You know, probably smart.
We want half of the money you made from Atlantis.
All right, here's $5.
They're like, Ano, stand up for your work, man. And he's like, look, I pieced out for like half that show in the middle. I don't even know what's going on.
What'd they steal? We did that? Weird.
Yeah, that movie made like $0. So
Right?
Yeah.
what would they have taken if they won?
I don't know.
Probably a free popcorn?
The director's shoes?
It's like I want the profits of Home on the Range.
I'm gonna check right now. I bet Home on the Range made more money
Probably.
I would hope.
because it didn't have a budget of $120 million the way Atlantis did. No, it did not make more money. Home on the Range was equally as much a failure.
Like, we didn't make any money. What do you want? Michael J. Fox has to be in Magical Shopping Arcade of Benabashi.
Okay, that actually sounds raw.
You're selling me on this.
Any anime having Michael J. Fox as the main character would be so amazing.
Oh man, he should be like a new character when Bleach comes back.
Fuck you.
That's terrible.
Why?
Okay, so FLCL
Yes.
What about it?
is, as you can see, it's a difficult anime to really discuss because I mean it's really short and there's not a whole lot of complexity to the plot, but it's this weird beating heart at the center. Like, you remember later on in the 2000s when anime became really self-referential and we had the year of the two Haruhis and things got a little moe for a while. This was kind of that before that, when this was an anime built out of congealed anime. So it's a little stream of consciousness and it's incredibly layered. So discussing any particular scene in it, you can really only discuss it as shallowly or as deeply as you want. So any conversation about it as a whole is kind of always going at cross purposes.
Yeah, I was going to say, as a conversational thing, it's actually quite difficult to talk about because, like, I could go into specific relationships and how that works across the episodes and stuff like that. Like, but it's almost like this anime completely lends itself to video essays, My Mortal Enemy.
Yeah.
We could go episode by episode covering events, but that doesn't do it justice.
That doesn't do shit for me.
You're like, and then here's the part where they just do this random thing.
Yeah, you can watch it for free, so do it. I can talk about relationships. I knew somebody in high school who really related to Mamimi, and they're in jail now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how that works. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, it's an anime that's very different when you watch it as a kid than when you go back and watch it as an adult.
I don't know what you're talking about. I watched it as a kid. I was like, that reminds me of that one chick. And I watched it as an adult. And I went, that reminds me of that one chick.
No, yeah, I had the same thing, but as an adult, I rewatched it. I'm like, that reminds me of that one chick. Oh, man, no wonder that happened to her.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I didn't get as a kid, like eyebrows being a sexual predator. That really flew over my head as a kid.
It comes at you so fast. Like, I feel
It's only
like...
that one scene, but it's so scummy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's jarring. I remember as a kid thinking, like, this is a show that has something very important to say about masculinity. I'm not sure what it is.
It's
But man, they're saying it.
it's saying a ton of things about it and how men give themselves value, and seeking that value in yourself through other people and how destructive that can be. I do like, though, that they did do that scene where Eyebrows is a sexual predator, because it says a lot about, like, that's so important to his character if you think about it. It's a guy who is deemed insufficient by some chick, so he gets a position of power, pretends to be manly by taping thick eyebrows to his fucking face, and then uses his power to try to sexually harass someone. That is really on point for him.
Yeah,
He tries to like red pill
Nadia.
Yes.
Yes. For men going their own way.
There's a reason cats stick together.
I really appreciate how this series treats children like people.
Yes.
Like, everyone in this feels like a person, not like some weird, like, it doesn't feel like it's speaking down to them. Like,
Right.
they feel like they could exist.
I mean, they're like 12 years old, you know, Naota and his friends, and they're treated as nuanced characters, you know, like his classmate.
Right. Like, every one of his classmates, basically, except for, I mean, I guess we can't say too much about the two of his friends that are just yelling things constantly.
Yeah, the two Bleach side characters.
Yeah.
Benina Mori really carries a lot of slack in that group.
I mean, that's true. She's one of the more developed characters in the entire series, and she's surrounded by chuckle fucks. But they're also very realistic.
Yes.
Like, all of them are very realistic. I could have done without one of their mouths forming a penis when they were talking about erotic stuff. That could have been, you know, avoided.
That's called environmental storytelling.
I don't think putting
That shit's cultural, Dan. How dare you?
I don't think putting a thick vein on something makes it.
I forgot the kid with the big lips. So and they're the same color as his skin. So I just kept seeing him be like, does that 12-year-old have fucking stubble?
What?
Dan, are you talking about not liking when an anime puts thick veins on something? Because we are talking about FLCL.
It's how and what it puts thick veins on. Because
You used your bat.
yeah, no, the baseball metaphor is really fucking good. God, every single aspect of this.
That scene went on for a while.
Oh man, you think that's something? Remember when she pulled the tiniest guitar in the world out of
Yes.
that dude's head?
Amaro.
Thank you, Amaro. Yeah.
I kept thinking, is it supposed to be Amuro? Is this supposed to be Gundam?
I'm wondering if that was intentional.
Yeah, I still have no idea.
It sucks that, like, he has one of the coolest character themes in history, and they use it on him.
That's pretty rough.
Fucking White Ash by the Pillows. Look it up. That shit is awesome.
It's a really good theme. We used it in old internet videos. It's a
We
really
did.
good
Oh my
theme.
god.
I don't know at what point in my life I stopped quoting literally every line of this anime nonstop. And I think there's a metaphor for growing up there.
Yeah, ukulele no good popped up, and I almost died. I was like, oh god, ukulele no good. That's some shit we just used to say.
Yeah, God, what's wrong with us?
Yeah, no, there were at least 30 fucking sentences from it where I was like, oh yeah, that's from this. Oh yeah, that's from this. Oh yeah, that's from this. Has anyone even attempted to do that dumb internet meme of person staring straight at anime and the theme flying over their head for Fooly Cooly? Is that even possible with Fooly Cooly to watch it and be like, I didn't get any of it?
I don't think so.
Haha, colors.
I pictured so many while
Yeah.
watching this show.
It's like it's a shotgun blast of thematic intent.
Yeah. I wish all sorts of small scale sort of indie initiatives that have this energy, like indie movies and whatever, would fire on all cylinders nonstop like this does. It's fantastic.
I mean, even at its basis level, like I'm a kid sitting there watching the anime and I'm like, okay, so what I'm going to take away from this is that cherry red Fender basses are the greatest power in space. All right, that's cool. I understand that.
Man, I'm watching this and I'm like, I get it, Naota. I get it. This sucks. This feeling sucks. And then I watch Karekano and I'm like, you're right, male protagonist of Karekano. I do get tired of being a nice boy. Maybe sometimes I want to go ape shit to tits. The ending of Karekano. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is with the...
You mean the last half of Karekano?
Yes! She's pissed at us already, guys. Just do whatever.
Oh, Gainax.
But yeah, no, it's honestly, if I were to make a list of the most impactful anime I've ever watched, this would probably be number one. And that's probably part of why it aged so well. You know, as Bob said, you could redeploy this and it would be fine, because I do think at no point in time does this not keep firing. You know, there's no low point. There's no part where a theme slips and it's like, what are you doing? It stays consistent to what its intent is the whole time. And it executes that really well.
I think part of it is because it was able to be an OVA.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't happen anymore. 6 episodes over a span of a year. They get to really work on those. I feel like we don't see that so much anymore.
Yeah, the economics just don't work out for that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
What do you mean? We saw it twice with the 2 sequels.
I was trying to think of any other words, like, what is something where they just dole it out slowly like that? I'm like, Hellsing Ultimate?
I mean, it's from the 20s, but the first Legend of Galactic Heroes was 125 episode OVA. Each tape literally ended with, "If you don't buy this, we're done."
Yeah, that was...
I mean, to be fair,
that was wild shit.
that's my initiative. That's going to be my initiative when we start filming indie films. Every trailer ends with that.
That's what we're doing for the Naruto podcast.
Hello, please buy this or we'll die.
The creditors will find us. Hopefully, we have your money in hand when they do.
I see some red and blue lights outside. Uh-oh.
There was Hellsing Ultimate.
I mean, OVAs were a big thing in the 80s and 90s, so a lot of things are that, but I just don't know them offhand.
Yeah, and they start dropping off by like 2010 for sure.
Right.
Like I can't think of anything.
Gundam The Origin a couple years ago.
How long
Were
was
those OVAs?
Gundam Origin was 6 episodes.
How long?
Okay.
How long is the Pokemon thing that?
That Pokemon Red thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the most recent one I can think of.
4, I think that was 4.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Saint Seiya one from like 2011 that was like 12 episodes.
I believe that's called Knights of the Zodiac.
There was like a battleship Yamato one from 2000 that ran over over a year, like 18 months, and was 26.
Jesus.
And that was like 2012.
So it still happened.
Space battleship Yamato?
It can still
like Star
Yeah.
Blazers Yamato? Damn.
Yeah. It doesn't happen very much anymore because you're partially because you're just allowed to be a show now.
Well, yeah. The whole structure and economics of the industry changed, so it's just not how we do it.
Like I guess you could consider a lot of Netflix series as basically being OVAs if you wanted.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of a thing that's been presenting itself.
Like
We do seem
Devilman
to
Crybaby is even basically the length of an OVA.
Yeah, we do seem to split the difference there with streaming funded stuff and like just small core shows that disappear after the first season.
Luckily, we were blessed enough to get 2 additional seasons of Fooly Cooly.
I'm fucking telling you.
Yeah, they're not even related to each other.
Ooh, I like that. Anthology.
I doubt either of them have any of the characters other than Haruko.
I'm gonna call my shot.
That's like Pyramid Head.
I'm gonna call my shot.
Okay.
There will be at least one, if in one of those 2, there will be at least one character that is somebody's younger sibling or child.
My curiosity about those shows is the mental equivalent of waterboarding, where just thoughts trickle in and I go, I wonder if they fucked this up. I wonder how they fucked that up.
It's like the dead pigeon bag from Arrested Development.
What?
There's that screen cap that gets posted all the time where he opens the fridge and he sees a paper bag that says,
Oh yeah,
like, don't eat
expect.
dead pigeon. And he looks in and is like, I don't know what I expected.
Yeah, it'll probably be exactly like that, actually.
And then you'll go more like FLCL regressive. Oh!
Yes, I'll say FLCL regressive and FLCL butt-ternative.
Oh, speaking of titles, I wanted to bring up something from back in the day that it went around my high school, and I was personally partially responsible for its promulgation. So there was a thing back in the day where the name of the show was either FLCL or Furikuri. Fooly-cooly was a concept that existed within the show, but was not its proper title. This was an active and ongoing debate when this show started airing.
I hate
Was there violence involved?
I hate our anime club from back then. Just to be fucking clear.
The fucking Waffle House.
It's so bad.
I mean, fucking people now are like, oh, gatekeeping. I'm like, no, some of you kids don't remember real gatekeeping. Yeah, I like Fooly Cooly. Cast him out.
That's not his name.
This is awful.
Let's talk about the cool robot designs some more. I like the hands. Like the going back and realizing so many things. It's just a giant hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoa, that's cool.
Hand cowboy is really good.
Yes, hand cowboy
absolutely.
is immaculate.
Yeah.
Or I guess hand mobster because he has like a Tommy gun.
Yes. He's fantastic, and it makes no sense.
Everything in this series looks incredible.
Yeah.
Like you could, it has a lot of themes and stuff, but you could strip all that out and it would still be a meaningful experience purely on visuals and sounds.
Yeah, and that's really the mark of a great piece of media well told. It's not just the themes, and it's not just the burr. It's got both, and either stand on their own.
Yeah, I find the composition of shots and other things in this to actually be very inspiring. I think there's better visual design in this than countless other things. I would say like 95% of things that are in a visual medium.
The numerous times they do like a big wide shot with silhouettes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of really good aesthetic stuff in this.
Yeah.
I like the one part where it just becomes Bob Team Epic for no reason for one scene.
Yes. That was an animation style that was showing up in a lot of things at that time. I have to wonder if Studio 4C was involved.
I was going to say, yeah, it sort of reminded me of Paprika, I think, has a visual style like that at one moment. Either that or maybe I'm thinking The Matrix and the Matrix Animatrix.
The Animatrix had a scene like that too.
Yeah, it has a short that looks exactly like that style that's there for one scene in Fooly Cooly.
Which style are we talking about?
I don't know how to describe it. Everyone looks like they're melting and distorted on a wide-angle lens.
Right, it's almost like scribble art.
That's some shit IG was doing at the time. They did it to a bunch of stuff.
Okay, I thought
and
that was
it worked
IG.
a couple of times, and the rest of it I hated.
Yeah, it works really well here. I think it sort of worked in the Animatrix. IG did do Dead Leaves. I still haven't seen that. Is Dead Leaves good? Does anyone know?
Yeah. It's one of IG's old in-houses. It's great. It's really weird to watch Blood, the Last Vampire, and then like, oh yeah, the same people made this and show someone Dead Leaves.
Yeah, because I still haven't seen Dead Leaves either, so I always think of Blood, not this, or Ghost in the Shell.
Here's my reference for Dead Leaves. My manager at CVS circa 2005 had a UMD of Dead Leaves.
I'm so glad you've created this safe space for all this boomer-ass anime shit.
Yes!
The only real boomer anime is available on UMD.
I'm gonna start.
It's the best way to watch Endless Waltz.
Yeah, I'm gonna start just watching anime for this show on UMD.
Yes.
Yeah, Endless Waltz was on UMD, man.
Why?
Because it was fucking cool.
Because it was raw. What?
You could hold Endless Waltz in your hand.
I mean, Endless Waltz is raw. I just didn't expect it to be on UMD.
Well, yeah, UMD is the new video format of the future. You get to take the anime on the go and watch it on your
And it can be a weapon.
your stunning high-resolution, crisp PSP screen.
You find a redheaded 12-year-old girl and you go, Roger that.
I don't know what you're talking about, KZ. Somehow UMD feels like the only media Endless Waltz should exist on.
Hey, you guys want to watch Endless Waltz? Yeah, man, you got your PSP video cables? Ah, shit, I think I lost them one moment.
Your fucking AV setup.
Yeah. Now I'm like, this is how bad it got. I'm like, can I rip my UMD movies to an ISO and then mount that in a PSP emulator so I can play it on my PlayStation
Watermelon
TV?
cantaloupe.
Yes. Because I need a completely lossless rip of a UMD movie.
The highest quality you could ever do.
I get to do my my Spider-Man 2 Across the Years media comparison.
Oh, Lord.
Is there a 4K HDR version of Spider-Man 2? One moment.
The answer will be yes, but it's bad.
Yes, but Disney bought Sony, so now there isn't.
Oh,
Oh my god. Allegedly, it exists. I'm staring right at the European version. This is giving me a stroke.
I don't need Disney to do that. I don't need them to own the Emoji Movie.
Yeah, we can't lose that classic.
Yes, I need my 4K Blu-ray.
Look, any last redoubt we can get against the mouse is one we need.
you know, I saw the director of FLCL just stop doing things, but now I'm looking at it, and he did Dragon Dentist just back in 2017, so he's still
Weird.
active. That was pretty good. I hope it gets more.
Huh. I was trying to think of it, right? You know, the first two episodes of WeeaBoomers here, we did Project Echo and Fooly Cooly.
Mm-hmm.
And it is incredibly difficult for me to think of what the hell follows those two up.
There's plenty of boomer anime.
Oh, there's plenty of boomer anime. I felt like we would get the strongest and best out of the way.
The next one has to be something full of blood.
Yeah, we've got to go get that shit.
So what, Ninja Scroll?
Wrath of the
I mean,
Ninja.
yeah, the ninja ones are good. We could do Doom Megalopolis.
So,
We could do that.
I'm gonna look up what this is.
The really violent Fist of the North Star movie.
All right,
That one is classic.
That movie's good.
I don't know when that thing came out, but you've kept mentioning in passing Lost Universe.
That's
no.
a TV show.
That's a low.
So let me go ahead now. Keep in mind, everyone, these are not official content plans. This is just how I feel in this moment. KZ,
Yes.
what needs to happen is we need to hit these like iconic anime moments and classics and OVAs or whatever. Then we need to introduce to you Slayers. And then we can hit the low that
True.
is Lost Universe.
True, I know nothing about that except that their face looks like that.
Then we go from Lost Universe into Sorceress Stabber Orphan.
Yeah, pick it right back up.
The only thing I know about that is that you willed in a new anime of that.
It was pretty good.
No, Dan knew about it already, he said, when they decided to do that video.
Most people didn't, though, so it looked like a magic trick.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
Basically.
No, we have to move from Lost Universe to Angel Links. Because that's another
you go
spin-off
to hell.
of bad anime.
You go to hell and you die.
I'll add it to our
What
list
is
of things
what
to
is
do.
Angel Links this fucking spin-off of?
It's an
Outlaw
in-universe showed Outlaw Star.
What?
Yeah. The in Outlaw Star, the dinosaur, and the chick with the stupid blonde hair from the Space Forces, they're part of Angel Links.
I don't fucking remember any of Outlaw Star. I saw
I've never
3
seen it.
episodes.
This actually brings up a really good point. We have to hit Slayers and Outlaw Stars before we hit Lost Universe. Those are two very important components.
The last time I talked about Outlaw Star was when Acro was on Big Thick, and I said, I'm Acro, and I think Outlaw Star sucks. And then he threatened to harm me.
I guess we also, by that logic, we also have to cover Tenchi.
Tenchi is very
Which
classic.
one?
Yeah, the problem with Tenchi is figuring out which Tenchi series to
I
do.
saw that picture Bob posted of like, you are here in the Tenchi universe. I blacked out.
I think
knowing how to navigate Tenchi back in the day made you a fucking Chad.
One thing that we have to do is the original OVA series. I think it's called Ryo-Oki in Japan, and here it's just called Tenchi Muyo.
Yes, that's the one that I remember as being good.
Universe is pretty fun too. I like Universe a lot, but it's 26 episodes, so it's hard to be like, hey, everybody watch this.
Yeah, I feel like Tenchi Muyo is pretty important. So I would love to cover that on this series.
They're making a new season of the original Tenchi that's supposed to start this year.
No, that's been going. I'm watching it as it comes up on Verve. It's only once every like 2 months or something, and it's evolved to the point of being characters sitting in a room word vomiting for 40 minutes.
Ooh.
Word vomiting.
Oh,
okay.
Then it's Hunter x Hunter's manga.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not well handled anymore. It's terrible.
I'm not sure if the two original guys are still making series spitefully to get back at each other or not. Yeah, Tenchi's got a whole long, horrible history.
That's fantastic. I couldn't think of anything more fitting.
When are we gonna do Tenchi in Tokyo? That thing that's really fucking bad.
God, I hate Tenchi in Tokyo so much.
It's so bad.
Right. I keep thinking like I should give it another chance. No, I shouldn't.
No, you fucking shouldn't.
How hard is it for us to check out just the movies, you know? And then I look into it, I'm like, oh, right, that one movie so bad I left the room. Like, I can't think of any other anime film I just stood up in and just left.
They are
it was
really
forever,
bad.
right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's forever. Fuck that film.
I wanted to quit watching that.
I left Bob alone with the film. I abandoned him. I'm a criminal.
Yeah, that seems hurtful.
Aggro, I need to tell you something, and the audience and our co-host just get to hear it as well, because I won't wait until we stop recording to say this. I am a man in his 30s, and I'm still fighting the urge to buy a Vespa based on this anime. Help. Is there a pill? How do I get clean?
I'd like to answer that question with an anecdote. Around 2004, I think, 4 or 5, I was in New Orleans with my family, and we were standing in a pawn shop 2 blocks off Bourbon Street. And in the window was a cherry red Gibson EB0 bass. Wait for it, gentlemen. Because the only reason my brother and I did not walk out of that pawn shop deeply in debt to our parents was that it was a 1960, not a 61. No, Dan, there is no cure for wanting a yellow Vespa with a P sticker on the front. This
rough.
is just your life now.
No, this is horrible.
God, I
don't need this.
It's awful. I remember going through that phase and realizing, no, it doesn't make any sense. Don't do it.
You can't keep shit. Like, we film stuff. I can't put a camera on a Vespa. Like, I need a tripod. Do you know how much
it costs to get a ripcord motor mounted on the back of a Rickenbacker? Neither do I, because everyone I ask keeps telling me to fuck off.
I'm not asking the right people,
you
clearly.
See this happening. You buy it, you listen to the song as you're riding it, and then you crash.
Yeah.
I spent years fucking just dicking with Haruko cosplayers because I'm like, that's a sweet bass. It's not left-handed, though.
We haven't talked about Adamsk.
Oh, Adamsk, the Pirate King, where when they yell that, I fucking laugh out loud every time.
Is this in the same universe as Space Patrol Luluko?
I mean, the Space...
I don't see why not.
I know, they said the Space Patrol was involved, and I'm just like, uh-oh. This is canonical, isn't it? That's a fucking threat, honestly.
Right?
That's a problem.
I feel like if Gainax wasn't still a threat at that point, it might have shown up.
Probably, yeah. Luckily, they've been dismantled.
Did somebody from Trigger like absorb Gainax when that happened earlier this year? All the elements of it were very confusing legally.
Yeah, it all sounds incredibly bizarre legally, but it just sounds like they just can't get away with shenanigans. I don't think anyone got like, oh, and the grand prize goes to Trigger. You get everything. Da, 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 da. Like, I don't think.
Yeah, I was hopeful the car just owns all of it because I think Anno would probably do a good job of doling those things outright.
Yeah, of course.
It's decided by Plinko. Everyone plays Plinko to see what they win in terms of IPs.
In my head, what happened to Gainax is a direct result of what happened to ADV years before. Like, they were still digging through those contracts, and it somehow exploded Gainax.
Sorry, if you read this line, you vanish.
Oh no!
It just starts turning to dust. It's like they got Thanos snapped. No.
Tell Central Park Media I love her.
But yeah, I personally feel it's hard in a group setting to really get into this, like, into talking about the theme, which is the thing with this that I feel so strongly about. Because, as I said, it keeps executing on it so fucking well. You know, these asymmetric relationships, or there's a better term for that, and I can't think of it right now. But it's interesting because he develops so many of that type of relationship in this 6-episode OVA. So many different relationships where he's not the one in power, per se, where he's not the older, more mature one, where he is getting his sense of self-worth from so many people. It's hard in a group setting to talk about that, I feel. But it's so well done here, and it's such an excellent anime. I think if anyone is listening to this and hasn't seen it before, for fuck's sake, go to Funimation.com, go check it out.
Turn on Toonami, it might be playing.
If you turn on Toonami and you see Cowboy Bebop, just wait a little bit.
Yes, you will either get this next or Standalone Complex first or second gig.
I really like Standalone Complex. It's really good.
Shit, yeah, it is.
It's really funny because I'm like, man, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex is great. And then way after that, I finally saw the full movie, the first one. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. Then I saw the second one and I was like, oh, he went way up his own ass and made a bad film.
I like the jab at this that it has a Mamoru Oshii. It's insane.
Oh, yeah. No, that was really funny where it's like animation directors are cat people because they could barely take care of themselves. Oshii's more like a dog.
Oshii ruined Pat labor. I fucking said it. That third movie's the worst one.
Aggro, I have some stunning things here. Oshii probably has never made a good movie.
He was involved with the first Ghost in the Shell, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was okay.
What? The first Ghost in the Shell's fantastic. What the fuck are you on?
It looks great.
Bob.
Luckily, it's short enough that it's not painful,
Bob,
but it's definitely,
I'd give it a 6.
way pompous.
Bob. The first Ghost in the Shell's so good that I got a bad anime movie. It got an additional pretty good series, and then it got 3 live-action films called The Matrix. That is how good Ghost of the Shell 1 is.
The series is based on the manga.
Whatever. Anyway, the first movie's
The Matrix
good.
is based on Dark City.
It's based on both. Fuck you.
just unloading into Dan.
I just remember finally seeing that Urusei Yatsura movie that everyone's hyped up about, and it's like, this is just another Oshii film. It's the same thing again.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
it was a thing for a while.
Here's the
This is artistic and good. No, it's just artsy.
like, that's the thing, though. Like, the first Ghost of the Shell, it walks a very thin line. I feel like it doesn't get pretentious. The second one, absolutely.
Yeah,
that one is bad. And I'm sure that Urusei Yatsura film is probably trending on that based on your reaction.
Yeah, it's like the first Ghost in the Shell is definitely the best movie I've seen from him. Like, that's also, it's only 40 minutes or so, which really helped him keep it down.
Is it really only 40 minutes? What the fuck? No way.
I think so.
If you bring up the new live action film, I'll end your life, Google.
Basically, what I think I'm hearing here is that the opening cutscene to the PS1 game is the best animated version of Ghost in the Shell.
I mean, that is really good, but standalone complex is there.
True enough.
It's 82 minutes. Okay. I was like, there's no fucking
My
way.
bad.
I know.
You said Bob only liked 40 minutes.
I know it's like 80 minutes, Bob, because the live action American film is just that movie again, but worse.
Yeah.
It's not, they didn't invent a ton of content to shove in. It's just the same film.
Raw.
ScarJo culture is toxic. People are like, she's so hot, she needs to be in everything. And this guy's like a schlubby white trucker who's delivering a package to my store, and I'm like, please leave. I don't need to spend this entire time you're dropping off this merch with you talking about how you want to pound that. Everyone's like, what the fuck is this story, Dan? And I'm like, it's the story I'm telling. That's all I can tell you.
Was he delivering the liquor or the donuts?
He was delivering the chips.
Oh, shit.
He's like,
we spent over half of this episode not talking about the subject.
I mean, that's very on top. That's very appropriate for this.
Yeah, WeeaBoomers is the most conversational of our entire podcast spectrum.
And it's also fucking FLCL. So either you have to have a weepy, introspective conversation about growing up and coming of age and finding your self-identity, or you have to get into the fucking weeds of industry intrigue, and it's just neither of those sound appealing.
We kind of just lived in between for a bit, yeah.
Dan, for the third episode of the show, can we do something coherent?
Do Megalopolis.
Please.
I don't trust aggro.
You missed out, Phil. In the fact that you weren't there when we watched when they dragged me for Project A-ko, 3?
Yes, I think you saw the third.
You made me watch the last one and we skipped the one in the middle, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, no, the drop in budget and everything is insane.
This is even less coherent than one.
We still have to watch those other ones, the reboot series.
Oh god.
No. Oh my god.
Oh god, no. Besides, it's tradition at this point that every WeeaBoomers will end with us talking about what else we should watch for WeeaBoomers, and then sipping 30,000 times into a microphone. I go, oh, that's a good anime. That's not sipping, that's gulping. That's
yeah.
Fucking Zoomers, they don't even get it. That's fucking.
There is no sip in his soul.
I'm gonna drive my riding mower outside Casey's window as soon as he goes to sleep.
He'll be like, thank you for waking me up in time to play the Tony Hawk demo, and now I've dated this recording.
Dan, this isn't gonna come out till December. Don't do this.
Anyway,
people are like, what do you mean? That came out and you all hated it.
Dan,
we have to go.
Dan, don't you remember that bricked KZ's PS4? Anyway.
Oh, no.
Anyway.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we need to talk about.
And then KZ goes to buy a Pro, and then Dan's like, no, PS5's so close.
This is the moment right before the end of the episode where we ask everyone if they would recommend Fooly Cooly. Obviously, I'd recommend it. I think it's really good material. Just go fucking watch it on Funimation. Dr. Aggro, would you recommend Fooly Cooly?
Recommend hell. This shit is required. It's in the canon.
Bob.
Yeah, no, this is the most highly recommended thing you can have. Like, you have to watch this. It's immaculate. Also, there's an amazing dog in an episode.
Yes, there is.
It's made of 3/4-inch jacks and it eats technology.
There's 2 dogs.
Somebody wants to use it to get revenge.
It questions your workflow.
Mr. Feel, would you recommend Fooly Cooly?
I'm bringing back gatekeeping. If you haven't watched this, your opinion doesn't matter.
He doesn't make the rules. These are just the facts.
He just keeps the gate. KZ, would you recommend Fooly Cooly?
Yes, but no if you're one of those people that might make a mistake and buy an old Vespa. Or a
That's
guitar.
everybody, KZ.
Oh no, don't don't buy an old Vespa. Jesus Christ, it's hard enough to repair a new one.
Hazy, don't fucking gatekeep like that. All right?
Hey, a brand new Vespa is only $5,000.
I know.
Come on. That's basically nothing.
Hold on.
It's not-
What's our Patreon at? Out of curiosity.
Wait, are we about to buy one Vespa for all of us and have fucking split up divorced parents?
Hey,
and just
we're
like,
only
oh,
like
you get it for the weekend.
$600 away, Dan.
You got to cover shipping too.
Playing the video again.
I don't know. I might just go to the Vespa once my car inevitably explodes and I barely survive.
So tomorrow?
Who knows? Maybe by the time this comes out, it will have already occurred. People will be like, that's what broke him.
I have to say this because they're the same thing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if me pointing out these are the same thing upsets you, Dan, or anybody listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
Buying a yellow Vespa has the same energy as getting Sharingan contact lenses.
No, because you can see someone on a yellow Vespa and be like, oh, that's a weird motorbike. You see someone with Sharingan contact lenses to a normal human, you just go, what are they doing? Like a normal person would just see you and be like, what is your fucking deal?
Well, both of them you can do stealthily. Like you're driving that and people don't immediately know, but then you start talking and you're like, oh, it's one of those.
Yeah.
And people with the contacts can just close their eyes.
Forever.
Walk into walls, yes.
That is the thing, though. Let me tell you, as someone who's worked at a job with someone who had like a Vespa, I think it was a Vespa. It was a very Vespa-like thing if it wasn't a Vespa. That they put Overwatch, like it was full Diva, decal, stickers, custom paint job, etc. A lot of people ask you whose vehicle that is, just nonstop. So there is a witch hunt. You can't hide it for that long.
They can always sense it.
Weebs.
I've had to tell people like, oh yeah, I just have this very tasteful keychain on my purse. It's not obviously an anime thing. And I just leaned and said, everybody knows, even if they don't know what it's from. They all know. They smell it on you.
I just buy cool art stuff online. It has no significance.
I remember that Blu-ray I have of FLCL came with the keychain that was just the P logo from the front of the
Vespa.
From the front of the Vespa, and it's I had that on my keychain until it literally destroyed itself.
You know how you could make up for that?
I'm buying a Vespa? Yeah, let's do it.
Thank you for watching this episode of WeeaBoomers. This show is only made possible by the support of our patrons over at patreon.com/gbpodcasts. If you become a $5 backer or podlord, you can get early access to Chugging Bleach and Mondo Cool, our Bleach and DBZ movie podcast, and you can also get many other exclusive benefits. That's patreon.com/gbpodcasts. This month's GigaBoots videos were brought to you by our lordly executive producers, Esme, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Danny Richardson, Red Blaze 27, We Fall Now, and the Ghost of Adam Admar implores you to play more Saga. Thank you very much to our executive producers. And also these guys. Soar on over to patreon.com/GigaBoots and become an executive producer today.